So you think you know Egypt. You've seen the movies, watched the documentaries, maybe even spent hours glued to the screen as ancient pharaohs and golden tombs flashed by. Hollywood and TV have painted a picture in your mind, one filled with adventure, mystery, and a whole lot of sand. Maybe you even did a school project on King Tut, carefully gluing together a cardboard sarcophagus or reciting facts about mummies to your classmates. For most of us, Egypt started as a chapter in a history textbook, a place of legends and homework assignments. You're probably picturing endless deserts, towering pyramids, and mysterious people in flowing white robes, a land frozen in time, where nothing ever changes and the past is always present. But let's be honest, that image is about as accurate as a Hollywood movie about Africa. Entertaining, sure, but not exactly the real deal. The real Egypt? It's a beautiful, hilarious mess, a place where chaos and charm go hand in hand, and every street corner has a story to tell. Step off the plane in Cairo, and your ancient fantasies get run over by a tuk-tuk before you even have time to adjust your sunglasses. The city greets you with a rush of noise, color, and energy that's impossible to ignore. The city is alive, car horns blaring, street food sizzling, millions of people living modern lives right next to ancient wonders. It's a place where the past and present are neighbors, sometimes even roommates. It's like finding a Starbucks attached to Stonehenge, or grabbing a latte while gazing at the Sphinx. The old and the new are always side by side, and sometimes it's hard to tell which is more surprising. Most Egyptians are more worried about traffic than hieroglyphics. The daily grind is real. Dodging cars, catching buses, and making it through another day in a city that never really sleeps. They're streaming Netflix, arguing about soccer, scrolling through social media, and doing it all in the shadow of the pyramids. Ancient history is cool, but Wi-Fi and football scores are just as important. Egypt isn't a relic, it's a vibrant, complicated country where ancient and modern collide every single day. The skyline is a patchwork of minarets, skyscrapers, and the unmistakable silhouette of the pyramids. One minute you're marveling at ancient engineering, the next you're dodging a vendor selling plastic pyramids that light up and play music. The souvenirs are as modern as the monuments are old. This isn't your history teacher's Egypt. It's a place where the past is always present, but the future is happening right now. One selfie, one TikTok, one laugh at a time. This is Egypt 2.0. Wi-Fi, traffic jams, and a sense of humor required. Here, history isn't just something you read about, it's something you live every single day. Let's talk about the pyramids, the ultimate ancient flex. These massive stone giants have stood for thousands of years, dominating the desert landscape and the imagination of everyone who sees them. They're not just old buildings, they're the original skyscrapers, built to impress both mortals and gods alike. Pharaohs didn't just want tombs, they wanted to make every future king feel inadequate. Each ruler tried to outdo the last, commissioning bigger, grander, and more elaborate monuments as if to say, "Top this if you dare." The hieroglyphs and statues are more than decoration. They're ancient bragging rights carved in stone. You see them in photos, majestic and serene, but the Giza Plateau is more theme park than silent wonder. The reality is a bustling scene, filled with the energy of people from all over the world, all eager to witness this wonder for themselves. Tourists everywhere, vendors selling everything, and camel guys who'll have you riding Michael Jackson before you know it. The chaos is part of the experience, modern life colliding with ancient history in the shadow of these timeless tombs. The scale is staggering. Standing at the base, you feel tiny. Each stone is taller than most people, and there are over 2 million of them stacked with mind-boggling precision. It's impossible not to feel a sense of awe at the sheer human effort involved. These weren't just buildings, they were statements to the gods and to history. We were here, and we were ambitious. The temples and columns nearby echo the same message, that the ancient Egyptians wanted to be remembered forever. Built without cranes or power tools, just sheer willpower and genius. Every block was hauled, shaped, and set by hand, a feat that still baffles engineers today. The craftsmanship is a testament to what humans can achieve with determination and vision, and all for a dead guy's house, a house he'd never live in. The pharaoh's final resting place was designed to be more luxurious than any palace, filled with treasures and secrets meant to last for eternity. The most elaborate funeral arrangement in history. Gold, jewels, and priceless artifacts were buried alongside the king, all to ensure a comfortable afterlife. It's the ultimate example of, you can't take it with you. But they sure tried. Today we leave behind social media profiles. They left behind stone monuments that will outlast the internet. Our digital footprints may fade, but their legacy is literally set in stone, visible from space and still drawing crowds millennia later. Who's winning? Hard to say, but you have to admit they made their point. The pyramids are a daily reminder that some ambitions are meant to last forever, dwarfing even the tallest buildings of modern cities, and they made it in stone. Every symbol, every carving is a message sent across time, daring us to remember their names and their deeds. The pyramids are a reminder, human ambition is timeless. No matter the era, People dream of leaving their mark, of being remembered long after they're gone, and sometimes a little over the top. But that's what makes them unforgettable, the ultimate monuments to human imagination, effort, and the desire to be remembered. For thousands of years, the Nile was more than just a river to Egypt. It was the very heartbeat of the land. Its waters brought life to the desert, turning barren soil into fields of green and providing food for entire civilizations. The Nile was the main highway, a source of transport for people and goods, and the rhythm of daily life pulsed with its flow. Boats glided along its surface, connecting distant villages and bustling markets. Ancient Egyptians built their world around the river's annual floods, which brought rich silt and made the land fertile. Temples and monuments rose along its banks, testaments to the river's importance. Their lives, beliefs, and even their gods were tied to the cycles of the Nile. Every year, they waited for the floodwaters, knowing their survival depended on it. Fast forward to the 20th century, the construction of the Aswan High Dam changed everything. The annual flood ended, and with it a way of life that had lasted for millennia. Today, the Nile is a scenic backdrop for luxury hotels, dinner cruises, and city lights. Its waters reflect a new Egypt, one that blends ancient history with modern living. For many Egyptians, the river is now just something you drive over during your daily commute, a familiar sight but no longer the center of survival. Imagine an ancient farmer, pausing at sunset to watch the river that sustained his family, his hopes and fears bound to its waters. Now, in that same spot, a young Egyptian scrolls through TikTok, the river still flowing quietly beside him, a silent witness to changing times. The river is still there, winding through the heart of Egypt, but its role has shifted dramatically. It's no longer just a giver of life, but a backdrop to modern ambitions. Egypt has transformed from an agricultural society into a modern nation, facing global challenges and opportunities. Skyscrapers now rise where reeds once grew. Yet the Nile remains a powerful symbol, a reminder of deep roots and shared history. It's a place for families to gather, for friends to relax, and for the nation to remember where it came from. Amid the chaos and noise of Cairo, the river flows on, a silent witness to millennia of change, adapting to each new era. The contrast between past and present is stark, but the connection endures. The river links generations, from pharaohs to present-day dreamers. The Nile has seen pharaohs, conquerors, and now us, with our selfie sticks and smartphones, capturing moments by its timeless waters. The river's story is Egypt's story, always moving, always adapting, always central to the nation's identity. And even if, for some, it's just a beautiful view from a balcony or a cafe, the Nile remains at the heart of Egypt, eternal, enduring, and ever-present. In ancient Egypt, you walked, sailed, or rode a donkey. Simple. No traffic jams, no taxi negotiations, just the pace of your own 2 feet. Welcome to modern Cairo. Traffic is an extreme sport. Lanes are suggestions, horns are constant, and the main rule is, don't hesitate. Cars, microbuses, motorcycles, and the occasional donkey cart all compete for space. For tourists, you've got options. Taxis, negotiation required. Uber, still chaotic. Or, for the full cliché, a camel ride. Nobody commutes to work on a camel. Those are for tourists at the pyramids. Camels are slow, bumpy, and smell exactly as you'd expect. But for a few minutes, you get your Lawrence of Arabia moment. The real adventure is just getting across town. Hold on tight and don't be surprised if your camel guide wants a selfie. Cairo's streets are a blend of ancient imagery and modern chaos. Getting around is half the fun, and half the challenge. Just remember, in Cairo the journey is always an adventure, and sometimes the ride is the story. Ancient Egyptian food was simple: bread, beer, onions, fish, fuel for building pyramids. Fast forward, modern Egypt's food scene is bold, social, and delicious. The heart of street food is koshery, a carb lover's dream of rice, pasta, lentils, chickpeas, and spicy sauce. There's tameya, Egyptian falafel, and ful madams, the fava bean stew that keeps the country running. For tourists, dinner is late. Think 9 or 10 p.m. and restaurants are packed at midnight. Hospitality is serious. If you're invited to eat, expect to eat a lot. Saying you're full just means more food is coming. Food isn't just sustenance, it's community. Business deals happen over sweet tea, families gather for Friday lunch, friends share mezzi at cafes. The best conversations happen around a table. Be adventurous. Try the koshery from the tiny shop, accept the cup of tea. Food is the fastest way to taste the real Egypt. It's a culture shock, in the best way. Come hungry, leave happy, and maybe a little too full. Tourists and locals in Egypt, an age-old dance. Tourists are amazed and slightly confused. Locals are helpful, persistent, and masters of persuasion. The art of saying no is essential. La, shukran, with a smile and keep walking. Vendors aren't rude. It's just the hustle. a tradition as old as the pyramids. Misunderstandings are part of the fun, like the tourist miming a cat to find the Sphinx, only to get directions in perfect English. You'll see tourists trying to pay for water with a credit card, and locals offering special prices to everyone. But beneath the sales pitch is real warmth. Step away from the tourist sites, and you'll find genuine hospitality. Sit at a coffee shop, and someone will ask where you're from, what you think of Egypt, and if you like Mohammed Salah. These are the moments that stick, the unscripted everyday encounters. Egypt's true character is curious, proud, and welcoming, and sometimes hilariously lost in translation. Ancient Egypt was all about order, tradition, and gods with animal heads. Fast forward, now you can buy a t-shirt with Isis holding a smartphone or a mug with King Tut in sunglasses. Ancient symbols are everywhere, on keychains, billboards, and memes. It's not disrespect, it's cultural ownership, Egyptians making their history their own. The blend of old and new is everywhere. A young woman in a hijab checking Instagram against a 3000-year-old wall. The call to prayer followed by pop music. Egypt lives with one foot in the past, one in the future. It's both deeply traditional and wildly modern. Outsiders might be confused. Is it religious or globalized? The answer is yes. Egypt doesn't force you to choose. Here, the sacred and the silly exist side by side. A god from the Book of the Dead can become a Facebook meme. That's a unique kind of magic. And it's what makes Egypt unforgettable. The postcards show Egypt's wonders, the pyramids, Luxor, Tutankhamun's treasures. But if that's all you see, you're missing the real story. The real Egypt is in the small moments, away from the tourist crowds. Get lost in a side street in Islamic Cairo. Find artisans, smell fresh bread, hear kids playing soccer. This is the city's pulse, unpolished, vibrant, and welcoming. Take the overnight train from Cairo to Luxor, share a compartment, share food, watch the landscape change. The journey is part of the adventure, a window into Egypt's tapestry. The real Egypt is its people. The stranger who helps you on the metro, the soccer fans in a cafe, the guide proud of his family. The monuments are the backdrop, the people are the story. The postcards show what Egypt was. The people show what Egypt is. To find the real Egypt, you have to look beyond the stones. It's in the laughter, the kindness, the everyday life. That's the Egypt you'll remember. After all the chaos and culture shock, is Egypt worth it? Absolutely. If you want a predictable vacation, try Switzerland. But if you want adventure, surprises, and stories, Egypt is calling. Egypt demands your participation. Bargain in markets, brave the traffic, try the food. It's immersive, sometimes frustrating, always fascinating. Every day brings something new and unexpected. Egypt is a paradox, ancient civilization, young population, deep tradition, modern creativity. It's a place of silent monuments and loud cities, sacred and profane, never boring. Go for the pyramids, stay for the koshery and the conversations. Go with an open mind and a sense of humor. Things won't go as planned, and that's the point. You'll come back with stories, a new perspective, and a sense that Egypt is so much more than its past, and you'll be glad you went.